Hi my lovelies, so I hope you all are doing very well. I'm at the moment feeling a little bit stressed out due to wedding planning. It's around about 5-ish weeks to go until I get married, and so I'm trying to find some time during the day to actually take some time out to enjoy and relax and just get away from the planning, because it is stressing me out and I just want to try to step back a bit and then go back with a clear mind and not feel so worried and panicky about everything and all of that. So I have been very much into working on my journal that I showed you in my haul video, which my parents had bought me for my birthday. I'm pretty sure there are plenty of people out there, when they get a journal like this or something similar, they feel very excited to start working with it, but they also feel very nervous about putting anything in because they don't want to mess up, and they feel like if they mess up, that's the book ruined. And that's how I started to feel with this. So I wasn't touching it at all for a little bit until I started to watch Molly from Her Speak on YouTube, and she has so many beautiful videos out there, very creative and all of that. But she's done a few on Book of Shadows or Grimoires and all of the magical journals. Excuse me. And she's just inspired me so much to actually start working with my journal in a different way than to add information in, to make it my own. And that is to personalise it, to decorate it the way I want it to look, and just add those little details first before I feel completely ready to start actually putting words in here or images. And I've also been watching a lot of Kelly from The Truth and Story, where she is talking about her crafts that she does and the edgings of her tarot or oracle decks or Lenormand, and also cutting them up and things like that. And she is one of my big inspirations on YouTube. My partner works most of the day, so it can get pretty lonely in this house on my own. I know I've got Merlin, but it's not the same as another voice. So YouTube is pretty much my safe place to go, and Kelly at the moment, she's just so comforting and relaxing to listen to. You don't even half the time have to actually watch her video, it's just in the background, so hearing her voice is very soothing to me, and I just love her, I really do. And with her going on about her crafts and buying all these inks and pens and all that, she's kind of got me into the same thing on buying my own pens and all that for my craft work with my journal. And that's what I have around me. I didn't actually realise how much there were going to be, especially the distress ink. I don't know why, but I guess it's because I'm very cheap and I don't like paying out for things, but this is $4.99 and that is a lot of money to me. And I don't even know how much longer I'm gonna use it. But yeah, the small ones are $2.99, which I feel a little bit better about spending. Oh, that one's lost its lid. I don't know where that went. But yeah, I got a few inks. That one was for Vintage Photo, Walnut Stain. Again, that one's lost its lid. That one is Old Paper, and nope, something's gone wrong here. That one's Walnut Stain. Okay, the lids are on the different inks. That's probably why they don't add up. But yeah, I also got a different one by Encore, which is metallic copper. These were in my local garden centre, so I just love going around there and looking at the flowers and trying to decide if I want to buy plants or if I want to buy crafty stuff. But yeah, I decided that I wanted to get them to try and make this journal my own, and by doing that and by watching Kelly's videos with her edging, I thought I would do the same with this journal. So if I can make some room, what I have been doing is edging the sides of the paper. I've still got to go over a few areas. So I did that first with the Vintage Photo, and then I went in with the metallic copper to add that little bit of a shine. Don't know if it's gonna pick up that well, because I wanted it to look a bit gildy, but not all over. So I wanted it to look like it was an older gilded book, but the gilding has started to wear off, that sort of feel. And I've still got to do the metallic copper on the rest of the sides, but I am actually really happy with that, and I don't know how long it's gonna stay like that for, but it doesn't really matter because I can do it all over again. And with the old paper, I wanted to add it somewhere, and I've decided I wanted to add it to a few of the creases. And I don't know if I'm going to do this for the entire book, just every now and then add it in there. And what I've noticed as well is that doing these is not clean, especially on this type of paper, so you will get smudges. So if you are the type of person who wants a clean cut edge, you have to be really careful about this. But this has actually made me feel more like this is my journal because of the mistakes. And that one has a bit of a tear in it, which was already like that. I don't mind the tears, I don't mind the smudges anymore, because it's making it my own and it's making it that type of feel. There was one corner which I completely ruined in a way, but again I made it its own and I can't find it. So yeah, I'm making it seem old, and I'm making it seem just like that little bit of a different to it. And I also decided to go ahead with doing the title pages, and I decided against doing the Book of Shadows or Book of Magic or Grimoire. I just wanted to add some images to what I feel connected to, because I didn't know if I wanted to call this a Book of Shadows or what. So doing 2 images were the best thing for me. And it is the Bridget cross. I have done this somewhat lately, so if I need to change it I can, but I am pretty happy with that. I mean, that is hand drawn and I'm not an artist. I was never really good at drawing, and I do feel nervous with drawing in this journal, but I'm starting to warm up to that idea and realise that it's me. It's going to show my work and it's going to show my progression through the years and months and whatever. So it is good to have something of me in here personally instead of just having words in. So I was originally going to try and trace this, but I found out that if I did want to trace anything, I would have to hold the book up to the window or hold a page very, very still with the other page that I wanted, the image underneath it, and try to trace it and hope that the pen or the pencil did not pierce through the other side. And with my luck, I knew that was going to happen, so I just decided to go with freehand and see what objects I have around to make the shapes. So the circle was my sellotape, and the square was something square that I had, and things like that. So I've tried to make it seem like a circle without completely ruining it. So yeah, that is Bridget's cross. Bridget is one of my goddesses. She is the house deity for me, so the one that I hope my kids will pray to and respect to within this house. The other deities that I work with are more personal, but Bridget is more towards our family. I also have done again, I don't know if you're gonna see it that well, and I'm not going to pronounce that name, but it is basically Orden's spear in a circle with the runes around it. Again, I did this myself. There was no way I'm going to trace anything, and I'm trying not to print out images and put them in here just yet, because I do have a few ideas with that sort of style going on. But yeah, Orden is another deity that I work with. I see him as the house god, so Bridget is the house goddess, he's going to be the house god. So I wanted to have them two on the main pages because they are not higher up and not more important than the other two, but because they are representing the family and that sort of thing, I wanted to have them there. I will be going into detail about the other deities in this journal, and I did say that I wanted to have this as a family tradition journal, but I've decided to try and not do it that way and just to have it as my own journal. so it's something of me, and if in the end I do want to have a family tradition one, then I can do, but this is going to be more personal and more about my craft and showing more of my personality for my kids or grandkids or whoever wants to see this journal. So yeah, next will be the contents pages, which I'm not even starting on because I have no idea what I actually want to have in or what order. So I have just posted a few post-its on here roughly to see what kind of pages I want in here and things like that, and then I can slowly work that in. I have actually done my blessings page, which is here, and again I've done this in pencil, and for now I'm sticking to that because it's easier for me to rub it out and things if I mess up. And I'm not good at trying to do fancy, I don't know if you can see it that well. Yeah, I'm no good at doing fancy font, so this is my best so far. But I may get better as time goes on. So again, these are all hand-drawn images, a flower, and then at the top there is another flower, and that one was a nightmare because I kept messing up and kept rubbing it out, and I found that this corner is now very, very thin, so I do have to be careful with what I put on in the corner next time, because it might end up just ripping altogether. So if that does happen, then it happens. Again, this is showing my mistakes, what I've done, and just things like that. I'm trying to make it my own and trying to make it a lived-in journal instead of just a journal, if that makes sense. So yeah, that is pretty much what I've done so far in here. This is the first time I've actually put words in here and not on post-its, and again I've got pages with post-its on. I am hopefully gonna be colouring in these images, and I do have a few other pens that I bought the other day. I went into the craft shop in the town next to us to find out that they are closed, and this is the first time that I've managed to find that craft shop, so that's typical for me. But yeah, it's just it's paint brushes but with the paint in them, or something similar to that, and I've never heard of these before or seen them, so it's going to be interesting to see what they actually come out. And I think you can add water to them to make them lighter. And my doodles, and I have tried it out there, which it looks pretty good, and it's annoying because my rough sketches are turning out so much better than the ones I'm putting in the journal. Like that one I love, but I cannot recreate it, which is really annoying. So yeah, that is, I think, pretty much all that I wanted to show you with this journal, personalization of it. And yeah, I just enjoyed coming on here and talking about this and just letting myself go and not worrying so much about the wedding planning, which I should get back to doing now. So yeah, I hope you all are having a lovely day, and I will speak to you all later. Bye.